You're listening to the Geriatric Mamas Podcast with Jessica Raziri
and Sonia Tapley.
It's so weird now when it's like the countdown, because before it's like I'm actually like looking at the computer, looking at you, and now you're sitting right next to me, and I'm like, do I start the countdown? Do I just sit here and like stare at you, waiting for...
We're both just staring at the computer like we always do.
Yeah. It's like 5, 4, 3. It's like, are they going to perform? Or are they going to sing and dance? What's going to happen?
I feel like in a podcast studio, like where, you know, like normally they would have like a camera back there and like you're sitting and you're just looking at each other like you're on a talk show.
Yeah. At least we'd be sitting across the table from each other. So it would be a little less awkward. Right. We can't really do that here. So, and I noticed in last recording, it was like really awkward because I was like looking at you. And to me, like that feels good. It's like natural. But then like when I was watching the video, it's just like then my side profile, which is like, I absolutely hate
all you
my
can
side
see is,
profile.
Like, the white of my eyes.
So bad.
You just see me turning, because like my whole body's not turned towards you. It's just my eyes.
Yeah.
So it's like...
We're a work in progress. We're not used to this.
Someday maybe we'll have a studio that looks like a beautiful living room where we're sitting across the room, you know, just sipping our coffees with a beautiful coffee table.
You know what we could do?
And
we
our
could
coffee
like
table
both like
books.
have our computers, and I could go upstairs, and you could be downstairs.
Oh my god! No!
Could you imagine?
I'm envisioning this. For
I'm
the
all
future.
this way, but then it's like we're friggin' still doing it virtual.
I thought about that, but
are you done moving around on the couch? She has like the noisiest couch.
I'm sitting on a pillow.
It's not even that. It's like this leather makes a lot of noise, and she's just like rustling around.
You guys will hear my butt moving a lot. Yeah, no, but you know, my vision includes the coffee table books that we're going to author.
Oh, yes.
With pictures
luteal rage
of women who murdered people in their luteal phase. Yeah.
Didn't we have another one? What was the other coffee table book?
God, I don't remember anymore. I know there was 2. We're going to have to go back and listen to all of our episodes. That's a lot.
The early episodes kind of make me cringe a little.
Me too. When people ask me about our podcast and they say they're going to go listen, I'm like, okay, cool. But start at like episode, I don't know, like the parenting episode, I think, was when I was like, I started to feel like...
a little better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we had...
Yeah.
I think that was like actually the 5th or the 6th recording that we had done. So I just felt
the
better.
very first one we were like, hi, how does this work?
Yeah.
We don't know what we're doing. We're just, I guess we'll just talk about our story. Our
Every
journeys,
other word out of our mouth
journeys.
was our journey, and every other word was like, and you know.
We still do say like a lot. The likes are a little aggressive. I cut out a lot of likes, but sometimes it's hard to do that because it's like, it's literally like connected to a word like I just did now.
Right.
And it's
really
really
just
hard
how we
to
talk.
cut. Yeah, it just...
Part of our language.
It happens.
Right.
Yeah. I feel like you need to provide the listeners with an update on Annabelle's birthday because last week we were so excited about it being catered by Chipotle. And this podcast is not being sponsored by Chipotle, and here's why. Sonia, it's all you.
Oh, yeah. No, so I had everything basically planned as far as what we were doing for her party, especially food, at least a month in advance. And I ordered catering on the Chipotle app, but then a couple weeks before, or like the week before, I decided that we needed to add guacamole to our order because I didn't want to have to make the guacamole, and it was just a lot of work on a day that you're already like stressing and working a lot. So anyways, I called them to order guacamole, and the man I spoke to on the phone was like, oh, I see your order here. It comes out to such and such. If you want to add guacamole, it'll be like another basically $200 because you have to, I can't remember what he called it, but almost like the luxury version because you'll add
like you have to upgrade your package that you're
you have
getting
to upgrade
to get the guacamole.
your it's like the highest package in order to have guacamole added. Or you can substitute out the meat option for the guacamole. And I was just dying because, like, my family's not vegan, you know?
No.
So they would be like, where's the chicken or that whatever. So anyway, I was like, okay, well, thank you so much for the confirmation. We're just going to make our guacamole. So I had Jessica make our guacamole, which came out amazing. Anyway, so the day of the party, Mike goes to Chipotle to pick up our order. and he calls me and he says, "Are you sure I'm at the right Chipotle?" And I'm like, "Yeah, why?" And he's like, "You know, the lights are off, the doors are locked. I can see in the building there's not a single person in there. There's no stove on. They're not cooking." So basically, we don't have food for Annabelle's
fucking
party.
closed.
They're absolutely
And this
closed.
is like, what, a half hour before people are starting to arrive?
Yeah, right. It's literally 30 minutes before people are getting there. And so I checked my email, and there's a confirmation for the day before the party saying, "Your food will be ready at 1:15 tomorrow for pickup." And so they definitely knew we were coming. So we called... What did we call? Was it customer service?
Yeah, called customer service.
We called customer service, and we spoke to the person who's, like, in charge of complaints or something. And she was like, "What would you like me to do to make this right?" And I was like, "Well, you know, there's another location 10 minutes away from us. If we could just change the order over to that location." And she said, "I'm sorry, but it's too short notice for me to place an order for you."
Yeah, she's like, "I'm unable to place this an order of this size with such short notice."
And I basically all but lost it. I just said, you know, this order was placed a month ago. It was confirmed last week. It was confirmed in my email yesterday. This is not a last minute order at all whatsoever. And she just kept saying, "There's nothing I can do. Is there like anything else I can do for you?"
She kept being like, "Well, I can file a complaint. I can file a complaint."
Yeah.
And Sonia was like, "No, how you make this right is you call in the order to another location and you find a way to get us our order because it was placed a month ago. This isn't last minute."
Right.
But then you were like, the best thing, she was just like, "Oh, I'm sorry, it's such short." She just kept repeating herself, such short notice. And then Sonia was just like, and she's like, "But I can file a complaint for you if you would like." And Sonia's like, "I'm fully capable of filing my own complaint, which I will. Thank you." Like...
Yeah,
I was like, oh my God.
I was angry. I was a little angry.
But rightfully so, though.
Yeah,
Like, come on.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like restaurants, especially like fast food. I mean, I know Chipotle's not fast food, but...
Well, it kind of is.
Yeah.
It kind of is, yeah.
Yeah. I mean...
Quick service.
Restaurants have all taken a huge hit since COVID happened, but to just not call someone and be like, "I'm sorry, we're not going to be able to open. Can we change your order to another location?"
Yeah.
For them to just basically not contact me at all.
Flat out ignored. And she didn't even get a follow-up,
Right.
like, "I'm sorry about this. Like, let's make it right. What can we do? Like, so sorry that this happened." Like, absolutely nothing. No acknowledgement. Nothing. The person taking the order is fully aware that they were closed. Fully aware they could not deliver this order. Fully aware that this wasn't even a thing. But just literally was just entertaining her for shits and giggles, apparently. Sent her a confirmation. Confirmed. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
It was rough. So Mike, basically, we decided we were going to order a bunch of pizza from Pat's, which is like a local pizza chain, and they have really good stuff.
Yeah.
And they were able to get us a ton of pizza within 30 minutes, and the party was saved. And we also had Jessica's guacamole and a bunch of salsa and chips for people to
so glad I brought Hayden his own little guacamole shirt because he was full on guac monster at
he
one
had
point,
it all
like
over himself.
both hands digging in, like stuffing it in his face. It was hilarious. He was just loving life.
Yeah, but the kids had an amazing time. They obviously did not know that
Nobody
was
knew.
missing Mexican
Nobody knew.
food.
Those are the details that us as moms, we put so much pressure on ourselves to make everything perfect. We have everything on theme. Everything is like just so and how we visioned. And then when something goes wrong, it's like you need to be able to quickly pivot like you did. You were quickly in like, okay, how do I fix this? I have people coming now in 20 minutes. I need food. This is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
And being able to quickly do that is like key because nobody else noticed. It wasn't until like you started telling people what happened that they were like, oh, well, this is great. Like people were excited about the pizza.
Yeah,
they loved
they were.
it.
The
They all
kids-
enjoyed it.
The kids actually ate it, which was
Yeah.
great. Perfect.
It was fine. Thanks, Pat's Pizza.
Yeah,
if you would like to sponsor us,
Right.
go right ahead.
Right. Yes. I mean, because we love to go there like Mondays and Tuesdays. Annabelle loves their spaghetti.
And then we had Sweet Cassie's party yesterday. I'm like, Purdy?
Yeah.
We had Sweet
Purdy.
Cassie's party. I don't know what that is. Yesterday, which was a lot of fun. Oh my God. So we get to Sonia's and I realize, like, I don't have a life jacket or anything. And Kate's entire backyard is just one giant pool, pretty much. And yeah, I should probably figure this out. So we stop at Walmart on the way. And I'm so glad we did because she had a little area gated off for like the little tots, which I really appreciated. And he had fun in there for the most part. But you could only contain them for so long before they're like, no, I want to go over there.
Yeah.
And he was all about the balls and like throwing balls in the pool, and she had like these floats, like unicorn floats, and kept going over to the floats and wanting to like give them hugs because he thought they were stuffies.
Right.
And I'm so glad that he was in this little life jacket because like at least I knew that like I had a few seconds to spare with diving in to get him because he's gonna float versus like just sink to the bottom. So that was a lot of fun too.
Yeah,
he needs to like figure out he has not mastered the slide of the bouncy house yet. Did you see what he was doing?
Oh yeah, he was going down head first.
He literally just goes, he doesn't even just go down head first. He lets his whole body flop down the slide head first, and then he does this little tumble on the ground when he hits the ground. It looks so aggressive.
And he's like, woohoo! He's like partying.
And he like wants to do it again because he thinks that's how it works. And it's like, okay. Oh my gosh. The little video of him and Annabelle dancing are so cute. There was one point Annabelle was sitting in the chair and Hayden goes over to her and he starts like doing his little wiggle, and then he like thrusts his hips forward, and he's just like, and Annabelle's just staring at him, and he's just like, hey, did you like my dance?
Yeah.
So cute.
Adorable. It was
one day when they're older, we're gonna play this at their wedding. Be like, see, this was your first dance.
Literally lifelong relationship they've had here.
But we need to make sure she doesn't friend zone him, so we need to like figure that out,
right?
Because that's easy to happen with like,
you know,
childhood friends.
Yeah, and same. I'll be like, listen, lady, you need to keep your air of mystery.
Keep your air of mystery.
With that hated.
Yeah, don't be ripping ass or anything right away. Like, just let him wonder.
Give it about 20 years before that starts to happen. Let him fall good and in love, okay?
Yeah, let him fall good and in love. Let him put a ring on it. Let him, like, really just tie the knot. And then it's just, like, fucking let it out.
Loose.
Just let it go. Trap him. Trap him and bake him.
And be like, Mom, did you know this about her?
Oh, fuck yeah, we did. That's her mystery. Aren't you glad you discovered what the mystery is?
Perfect mystery. Oh my God, I love it.
Oh, well, should we get into the episode? So, this episode, well, it's not really a coffee convos and it's not really a happy hour because we got a little litty titty last night and we're both feeling it today. So, this is a geriatric seltzer water hour.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Seltzer water always makes me feel better. I just love it.
It's the bubbles. It's the bubbles.
It works.
Okay, so on this episode, we're going to be talking about a variety of topics, including a marathon mom being accused of ignoring her children as she made her way to the finish line. That's been trending. I feel like I see that all over the place.
Everywhere, yeah.
A pregnant mom's unique search for baby names. I'm excited to get into this one. And the heavier load of motherhood during the summer months.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Can't wait to talk about that, too. All right, so marathoner speaks out after going viral for ignoring her kids at finish line. I will have other opportunities, she said. Marathon runner Luciana Grandi Laurenco made headlines with her dramatic sprint across the finish line, which saw her passing right by her husband and daughters waiting by the end of the race. Now viral, footage of her final downhill dash reached over 16.6 million viewers on TikTok, many of whom commented on the way she seemed to ignore her cheering family members. After Laurenco charged past her daughters, who attempted to greet their mom with high fives.
Sorry, I'm laughing. It's like charged past her daughter, like so aggressive.
Right. No, she kind of like skipped a beat and moved over a little. But anyway, so after she charged past her daughters who attempted to greet their mom with high fives, her husband could be seen throwing up his arms in a frustrated manner. On Sunday, the race winner took to Instagram to address the controversial video that sparked an online conversation about women pursuing interests beyond motherhood. The marathoner explained that she and Pedro decided their daughters would join their mom as she crossed the finish line. They didn't know whether or not Lauren Coe would end up in first place, and she says the stakes were heightened by the fact that she was only seconds ahead of another runner. Note, many people are blaming the dad for her ignoring her children. An example can be found in a ScaryMommy.com article, which states, a frustrating moment in sports is going viral after a dad must have blacked out from stupidity by allowing his kids almost to ruin their mom's half marathon win. Okay, so much here. So much here.
First of all, I'm not a runner. I'm clearly not.
We're not doctors. We're
clearly
not runners.
not any form of an athlete by any means. But when I do get into working out and I'm really into it and I'm like in the zone, like it's usually like those last few minutes of like on the elliptical that I'm struggling to push through. If anybody were to come in and try to talk to me in that moment or do anything, like it's hard. It's not easy.
Right.
And she was literally just seconds away from first fucking place.
Right.
And I get it. Like it makes sense. And especially they had this agreed before what was going on. And like she literally like those seconds of high fives could have cost her the race.
Right.
And like it's okay. Like I don't
It's totally fine. I think what a lot of people are missing is that they didn't realize that she and her husband had spoken about it before the race and decided together that the girls were going to join her at the finish line. And then also the part where it says that he was like throwing up his arms in frustration, making it sound like he did that because she didn't cross. It was you can see in the video, it's there for everyone to see, people were yelling at him for letting the kids go out onto the race. So he was looking at them like, he was throwing his arms up at them like, whoops, like, he didn't realize the stakes were like, apparently, or he didn't realize what was going on. Like, he didn't realize it was such a big deal. But he wasn't doing that to his wife. The arm raise was not aimed at his wife. It was aimed at the other bystanders who were yelling at him.
Or what if it also, too, the frustration could have also been like, what do you want me to do? I'm trying.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because kids sometimes are hard to like, what if they were screaming? What if they were like, no, I want to go see mommy?
What
and
if
they were
like, broke loose from him?
What if they broke loose? Like, because I've done that where I'm like, oh, like, oh my God, you know? And then to have people screaming at you, you're like, what? Like, what do you want? It's an honest reaction.
Right.
It's just.
Right. And it wasn't aimed at his wife.
No. And I'm guilty of just reading headlines and assuming what the story's about. And that's so bad because it's not true. Like, you can't do that. You can't just read headlines. You can't live in the headlines.
Right.
And so it's very clear that a lot of people that are coming at her are living in the headlines because they're just going by the titles of things or making their own assumptions. They're not actually seeking to understand what actually went down.
Yeah.
And had they done that, they would have realized that, like, no, this was agreed upon thing. Like, they all knew, were all aware. This was her moment. This was about her. This was her focus.
Right.
So everybody just needs to fuck off and leave them alone because they're fine. So you should be fine.
They are fine, and they seem like they're just moving on with life as they should.
They should. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh.
So all this will be in the show notes, but you can find it anywhere.
Okay, so I came across this article, and again, I actually didn't read it. I lived in the headlines, but the headline was like, ooh, this is cool. And the image that it showed, too, to go with it, I was like, oh, why didn't I think of this?
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with Hayden's name, but I feel like this is a really good idea. I'm all about this. Okay, so pregnant mom defends search for baby's name in cemetery after video goes viral. Not a place for evil. People.com exclusive. So good things are often found in the last place you think to look. As her due date nears, Haley Hodge has expanded her search for baby names beyond books and websites. Instead, the mom of 3 and soon to be 4 is checking out headstones at local cemeteries for inspiration from late lives and bygone eras. Hodge documented her unlikely quest for her daughter's name in a new viral TikTok video that sparked split opinions among its 2.5 million viewers. In the clip, the expecting mom can be seen stepping around graves at the old Smithville Burying Ground in Southport, North Carolina. So, comments on the TikTok post. This is the first ever video I've seen like this. Never would I've ever thought about it, one person commented. But I absolutely love this idea, especially if you research the person. This is honestly beautiful. What a way to honor those that have passed, another TikTok user said. Others were unnerved by the spooky sentiment, and several comments referenced superstitions warning against pregnant women visiting cemeteries. Hodge tells people she expected some backlash based on differing cultural regards for death, but she has never felt uncomfortable at burial sites. I think this is an amazing idea. First of all, like, you can come up with some, like, you can find some, like, cool names that maybe people have, like, forgotten about.
Yeah.
Like, old names.
Right.
And, you know, you brought this up when I sent you this article. The Who would love this? Stassi Schroeder. She would be all about this. Stassi, have you read this article?
Are you going to have a third child?
Because if you are, we know where you can look for some baby names.
Yeah, I think it's such a great idea. I wonder if she
so
saw this
cool.
article. I think it's people. Yeah, it's a people exclusive article. So another thing that I really liked that I thought was really special was that she invited her family to come looking with her.
Really?
Yeah.
So they were all like looking at names. I think it's fun. I think it's creative. I'm just like, and it's like you can look at it as being like a really sweet way of having their names live on, especially if you research them and kind of learn a little bit about their history, which is cool. But then also there's some like old timey names that like you just don't hear about.
You don't think of them.
Yeah. And it's just so, and then think about like, oh, well, who are you named after?
Right.
Well,
let me tell you.
Let me tell you this story. I'm named after
so-and-so who
So-and-so.
lived from
Can't think of
such
a
and
story.
such to such and such date. They were a great mom. They were a pilot. Like,
yeah, they baked pies.
Yeah.
They flew around the world feeding people pies. And then
I'm thinking of like Amelia Earhart.
yeah, I don't know why I'm telling Amelia Earhart's story.
Did she make pies?
I don't know.
Oh shit.
But you were saying pilot, and I thought you were going to say pies, and then I had pie in my head.
Clearly, we need to get into improv because we went from gravestones to pilots to pies.
Now I want pie.
Pilots that fly around the world delivering pies to people. So, you know.
That is fucking hilarious. Oh my god.
Yeah.
No, I love this. I love this so much because when we were thinking of baby names for Hayden, I went through all of like the books and the websites, and they were just all the same names that I had seen so many times. And I think I did see Hayden online, and it just stuck, and I just loved it because like I have a girl name in mind, and that starts with an H, so I knew that I wanted the boy name to be H.
Yeah.
So that one day, even if I adopt, like,
Right.
I can have my girl,
Right.
and I can give her this H name.
Yes. Exactly.
But I love the cemetery idea so much.
Yeah, I do too. I think it's great.
Hey mamas, are you someone who's 35 plus and struggled with fertility, endured a miscarriage, experienced heartbreaking fostering or adoption challenges, or were perhaps flat out told by a doctor that you will never conceive naturally, and despite the odds, eventually found your happy ending by becoming a mama?
Send us your story at geriatricmamas.com. We would love to feature your journey to motherhood on a future Geriatric Mamas episode. Moving on to the next topic. It's not your imagination. The invisible load of motherhood gets heavier during summer from scarymommy.com. We started planning for it in February. We have spreadsheets and camp flyers, calendars, and costs broken down by each of 5 kids, ages 1 to 9, and yet it still arrived in a flurry and still landed mostly on me, the mom. As someone otherwise very proud of society's evolution to more equitable division of invisible load, I've noticed that it all seems to go out the window when warm weather and summer break arrives. Why, when I look at the drop-off line for summer camp, is it still mostly moms? Though a 2023 Pew Search study found that 1 in 5 dads is a stay-at-home father, the U.S. Census Bureau estimated that in 2023, almost 1 in 4 kids under the age of 15 had a stay-at-home mother. Also, according to a 2022 Pew Research study, 78% of mothers feel they do the majority of the work when it comes to childcare tasks, including managing their children's schedules and activities. And all parents know activities never get more confusing, complicated, and expensive than when school is over in May or June. We can point back to the epic event in March 2020, which shall remain nameless, for some of the blame. One study in 2022 shows women's total work hours fell by 11% in the May to June period, twice the decline of men, with school closures and summer break childcare issues to blame. Working moms are at an additional risk of becoming completely overwhelmed as they balance work and childcare needs, a struggle that's been named the summer ceiling. The blog The Corporate Sister defines it as conglomerate of professional and personal obstacles faced by working mothers during the summer months as a result of the scarcity or complete lack of childcare resources, couple equity, and overall gender equality. Yeah.
Yeah, I also think, too, if you think about all the events that are in summer, it's like kids are out of school, so they're home. And then you have, like, 4th of July parties. You have Mother's Day. You have Father's Day. And that's usually all. Even Mother's Day is usually on the mom somehow.
Right.
And then you have
family barbecues.
You have probably a lot of birthdays end up happening in the summer. And then it's like you're still working. Like, if you're not just like, I don't want it to come across like stay-at-home moms don't work. They fucking work. It's a lot of work.
Right.
But if you are also have like a normal 9-to-5 job, just because your kid gets their summer break doesn't mean you get a summer break. So you're expected to like manage your dog. You're expected to manage your job and also entertain them as well for several weeks or months
figure out,
or whatever.
If you're not going to be able to do that, you have to figure out who's going to. Like, I have a friend who moved here, and she had everything set up for summer back in February. Like this article says, she had all the weeks of summer booked at a summer camp or at a school or something, plus she had a nanny lined up for the hours between, like, when she had to go to work and, like, get out of work where he wasn't gonna have any coverage. So she had all of this lined up, and then all of a sudden, like, plans backfired at both the camp and at school. So there's at least 2 to 3 weeks this summer when she has zero childcare, no activities for him, and then the nanny completely backed out. So in this particular circumstance, the nanny was going to be making $20 an hour, but then wanted to have an extra $1,000 added per month for gas and for...
I mean, I understand gas is expensive, but geez.
We all make a wage. Like, if we were driving into the office every day, would we get money for gas?
No.
Right. So this nanny wanted an extra $1,000 a month to pay for gas and, like, something else, these people were already going to, like, plan on paying for, but, like, as needed kind of situation. So, like, anyway, I've heard the struggle firsthand. I am basically a stay-at-home mom who works from home, so a lot of these things, and I only have a 3-year-old, not like a,
Okay, hold on. Don't say you only have a 3-year-old, because Annabelle is, like, a lot.
She is.
She's adorable. She's sweet. There's a lot of energy there,
She needs a lot of activity and a lot of tasks and a lot of... She wants to play all the time, and it's not just playing by herself. She likes to have people with her while she's playing, so... Sorry, I was looking over there because I thought...
I was looking over there because I just realized that, speaking of Annabelle, did she put those little stars on your
She
stairs?
sure did. She said there's a mommy star, a daddy star, a big sister star, there's baby stars.
Oh, interesting. Okay, Annabelle. She's just decorating over here. Did those come off, or are they stickers?
Yeah, they come off. They come right off.
Okay.
I just feel as though if
like
I take them off,
I'm
gonna get screamed
No,
at.
leave them. It's fine. But I'm just like, they kind of like, I'm like, are those like painted on? I remember. Do you remember what were your summers like as a kid?
I went to my grandmother's every day. Like,
you did?
My grandmother she would just come pick us up before my mom had to go to work, and then my mom would pick us up, or my dad would pick us up when they got done with work.
Yeah, I was at daycare every day.
Yeah.
Then when I got into middle school, it was like cheer camp and stuff like that. But that's when...
I feel like back when we were little like that, summer camp wasn't a real thing like it turned into as we got older.
I know. I wanted to go to camp. I remember I wanted to go to sleepaway camp. I thought it'd be so fun. That shit's expensive.
Yeah.
I found out later in life, when I got older, why I never went. It's because it's fucking expensive.
Yeah.
But yeah, I never did anything like that. And I had a lot of activities in the summer, too. Because then it was like gymnastics and dance, like, amped up a lot.
Right.
But, yeah, I was just at daycare all day, every day.
Right.
They had a pool, so that was fun.
Right. No, I think this is so valid because even I see so many things on Facebook. This isn't necessarily like my personal experience, but I see so many posts on the mommy Facebook groups. I have probably at least 5 that I see posts from daily who, even though the dad is a stay-at-home father, she is still responsible for the mental load. Like, he's basically, in a lot of cases, not all, but in a lot of cases, the men who are stay-at-home fathers, they're primarily just home, taking care of the children, giving them the activities for the day, making sure that they're bathed, they're clothed, they're fed while mom's at work. But everything outside of that is usually planned or decided by the mom in these posts that I'm seeing, and they're just so frustrated. The moms are frustrated, so they're always calling out is this a gender gap? Or is this, what is this? Is this normal? Is everybody going through this? And so clearly here, articles like this,
Yeah, it's so true. It's a lot. We put a lot on ourselves.
Yeah.
Well, it's not even just us putting it on ourselves. It's society puts it on us as well. It's that there's that expectation there of well, you're just going to do it, right? You have to do it. So, and it's I do have to do it because if I don't.
Right. Yeah. Who else is
not going to do it himself?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely an interesting topic for sure. And I'm sure that a lot of people have great workarounds for this. They've tried to make efficient solutions. So we want to hear from you.
Yeah. Tell us all your secrets.
Yeah. For moms who feel like they're thriving in this, definitely send us your ideas. How are you planning your child's summer, childcare, camps, you name it, whatever they've got going on.
How do you balance it?
How do you balance it?
How far in advance do you start planning?
Yeah. Is your husband part of that, or is your partner part of that conversation? So send us your thoughts.
Send us your thoughts. Send us or if this is also a struggle for you as well, let us know.
Wanna hear
Tell
that.
us how you feel about it. What are some of your aches and pains about the summer? Or if there's another season that really just stresses you out.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
Because fall brings sports. It brings dance. It brings
my God. You know what we should
everything
do?
back.
We should have seasonal posts.
Yeah.
About how to survive summer.
Yeah.
How to survive the fall.
Yeah.
How to survive the winter.
Yeah. Oh, because winter brings its other...
Christmas.
Every summer has its...
every season has its crazy stuff that happens that is just on the mom usually, because mom is magic and she brings all the excitement and the fun and the things that you look back on and think about. It's because of your mom. So give her a fucking hug. Will you?
Yeah.
You ungrateful assholes. I'm just kidding.
This should have been in our Mother's Day.
I know. We switched it.
That's fine. Every day is Mother's Day.
It really is. It is, for sure.
All right. So just a reminder to listeners, you get 20% off services at Ageless Medical Aesthetics in Westbrook, Maine with the code MAMAS2024. You just have to follow them on Instagram. You get a free first swim class at Goldfish Swim in Portland, Maine with the same code MAMAS2024. You just have to call them and book your class.
So that's all we have today. Just a little short one, but short and sweet. So tune in next week because we're going to have something really fun to talk about. Sonia and I next week are going to get a tarot card reading with an old friend of ours who we haven't seen in a very long time. So we're so excited about this. It'll be really interesting to see what our cards say. I love all this shit. So
I do too. It's going to be so fun.
I know.
I've never
so
done
excited.
this before, ever.
I've done it once.
Yeah.
I did it at my sister-in-law's bachelorette. It was a lot of fun. So
Yeah.
it was kind of creepy because, well, so far everything she said was wrong. But it's okay. It doesn't matter. It's fine. But it was still fun, you know.
It was about the experience.
Yeah. It was. So
Yeah.
we're excited. So we're doing that next week. So then by the time we recorded, we would have already done that. So we'll be able to share what our results were. Unless they're really bad and awkward, then I'm probably not going to talk about it. But if it's good results or funny, we'll absolutely share
If they're terrible, we're going to ask you guys if you've ever had terrible tarot
Terrible.
Yeah. We're gonna ask you guys
terrible
what your experience was, because we might need some encouragement. We'll see.
Yeah. So tune in next week, because that should be a fun one for sure. Mm-hmm. So thank you for listening. Be sure to tune in and hear about our tarot card readings. I almost said journeys. Fuck, journeys.
Everything's a journey.
Everything's a journey.
Or an era.
Follow, subscribe, rate, and review. Tell a friend. We need some fucking sponsors, okay? Like, come on.
For more info, you can check out our website at geriatricmamas.com. You can also follow us on Instagram at geriatric_mamas, on YouTube at Geriatric Mamas, on Twitter at Geriatric Mamas, and follow our group page on Facebook, Geriatric Mamas, and now we're on TikTok at
Geriatric Mamas.
Yes.
Oh, wait. Geriatric underscore Mamas.
There we are. This week I didn't say tic-tac, so
tic-tac, tickety-tack.
Excited.
I know, I've been waiting for it. I've been listening for it,
Yeah.
but you've been good. You've caught yourself every time. If you have a topic idea you'd like us to discuss, are interested in being a guest, or simply have a funny geriatric story to tell, you can go to geriatricmamas.com and hit be a guest, or send us your story. Time to fade out and fuck off.
Bye.
Bye-bye.